Familia de Lucha Libre Online, aquí te habla Pedro Vega y en exclusiva entrevista para ustedes. Gracias por seguir el contenido aquí en Las Vegas. And I say his name and he appears. The TNA World Champion Joe Hendry is with us here, Lucha Libre Online. How are you doing, Joe?
Doing very well, thank you.
So first, I want to talk. 20 years ago, TNA came back. It's coming back to Las Vegas, and you're the main face. And you had a tag team match with the Knockouts champion Macha Slamovich against Frankie Kazarian and Tessa Blanchard. Talk to me about a little about that match.
Well, this is a huge match. We've got the two champions, myself being the TNA World Champion. You've got Masha Slamovich, who is the TNA Knockouts World Champion, versus our contenders in Tessa Blanchard and Frankie Kazarian. This is a huge match. Vegas is a huge market for us, and it's a huge week for professional wrestling, so we're honored to be here. TNA is on a huge upswing right now in terms of popularity, and it's an honor to be the champion.
So you're being the face of TNA, and you got a little like stretches like Frankie Kazarian, the new attitude of Nick Nemeth. What is your game plan going to this new era of Joe Hendry?
My game plan as champion is to just do everything I can do to help TNA to continue to grow, because I think we have a wonderful product. I think it's a really exciting time, given the collaboration, given the attendances in the buildings, all the excitement. This is a great time to be a fan of TNA wrestling. It's a great time to be a TNA wrestler. So my job is to bring as many eyes to the product as possible. In terms of my matches, for me, this upswing in business has to continue in the same way that I have to continue to be champion. So I have to hold on to this title at all costs.
Last time I talked to you, you were going for the titles. You were in and out. You were doing the NXT thing. You did great numbers. You're doing great numbers on social media. Joe Hendry is one of the biggest stars now in TNA and the wrestling world. Now that you have the championship, you're the face, you're doing everything, media coverage. What can you talk to me about the difference of being new in TNA and now your development as a character?
So I would say the main difference from when I started in TNA to now is that in the beginning, when you're with a new company, you're just trying to build that trust and equity with management, your colleagues, and the audience. Now I'm in a place where I obviously have that trust. My job now is to, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. If there aren't enough people in the building, then I feel like I have to take partial responsibility for that. If the ratings aren't what they want them to be, I have to take partial responsibility for that. But I want people to look at this era and see, me as the TNA champion and Matt and Jeff as the TNA tag champions and say that was big business for TNA. That's but it's onwards and upwards. I want us to continue the growth, continue the excitement. I just think that TNA wrestling is a wonderful product. And it is very much, a lot of people say it, but we are very much a family as well. The locker room is a family. This is a special time. A lot of the times in life, you don't know you had something special until it's gone. So, I encourage everybody who is in a workplace that they enjoy, and when things are hot like this, to enjoy it as much as possible and spend time with your colleagues and entertain the fans as best as you can, because wrestling's in a real boom period right now, and hopefully we can make it last as long as possible.
Now, you talked about the Hardies. You did the cameo of the theme song with Matt and Jeff. It went viral. How is Matt and Jeff helping you in your career actually right now?
So Matt and Jeff have been amazing. They're so great to work with. I remember when we filmed the parody, having to get the green screen in and explaining to Matt and Jeff what I wanted to do, and having to direct them on, turn around like this and do this, and you need to look at the camera at this bit, and direct them, and thinking, most legends would have been like, who is this guy telling us do this, that, and the next thing. But Matt and Jeff were so open to my creative ideas. I really appreciated that. Also, I did a concert with Jeff where we didn't have any time really to practice, and I just said to Jeff, look, I have made a version of your song Modest that I think we can do live, because they just announced a concert. So it's like, I guess we better make a concert, you know? So the fact that Matt and Jeff have been so open to my creative ideas, there was a time when Jeff came back to TNA Wrestling originally, and there was a period of time where there was a moment where they were going to speak on the mic, and the Hardys used that time on the mic to put me over, which made me go, wow, you know, their first thing back as a team that they wanted to say was to say that I was the next big thing, you know, so that meant a lot to me.
Man, that's huge. Coming from the Hardies, the legend that they are. I want one last question. Now that you're going forward, you have Frankie Kazarian, who won the one kill shot match, and he's been in your foot this entire time. What can you talk to me about going directly to him and defending that championship, even if he can like sleepy with you?
One thing that I do find shocking about that is that he, for some reason, has not utilized the element of surprise that comes with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner. He has declared that he will be challenging at Rebellion. So I guess he's given away the advantage of the element of surprise. But I think the reason that he's done that is because, obviously, of the situation that I've had going on recently. I think he sees me as a weakened opponent, and this is his best shot to get the championship. So I don't know what to expect, really. I just know that I have to do what I have to do to keep this championship. It's tough because Frank, he is a tough competitor. And also, I did lose to Ethan Page as well. So I will now. I haven't beaten Ethan before in a in a situation like this. I haven't pinned him. So I'm going to have to overcome that as well when I'm not 100%.
Now that you talk about Ethan Page comes from NXT to TNA to make a name for himself again, because he was one of the greatest tag team in the North, tagging TNA. Now you know he's one of your guys that wants that championship. What can you talk to me about Ethan Page now in TNA?
I mean, Ethan has spent several years in TNA wrestling, but that's a different time and a different place. Like I say, I've never beaten Ethan Page. However, Ethan Page was not able to do what I've done in TNA wrestling. So this is my house, and he's coming into it. So I know what it takes to get to the top of TNA wrestling. He does not. He knows what it takes to beat Joe Hendry. I haven't proven that yet. So we're getting there's a real clash. Something's got to give here. But I have to say, I do not. I think it's in everyone's best interest that Joe Hendry remains the champion.
What can we expect from Joe Hendry now ending 2025 this summer? All the shows that you have. What can we expect from TNA champion?
You can expect more excitement, more viral moments. You can expect fun videos. You can expect all of the fun and games that come with Joe Hendry, but you are going to see a side of me that you maybe haven't seen before when it comes to intensity in the ring, because that's something I will have to bring to survive at Rebellion.
Joe Hendry, I want to say thank you for your time here for me and Lucha Libre Online. Really respect your work here in TNA, what you're doing.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Pero vea, para Lucha Libre Online, porque en español nadie lo hace mejor.